Some days you have great ideas, some days you don't. Well, today we definitely don't. But just because it's a bad idea doesn't mean that it can't still be fun. I'm sure you can kind of figure out what we're trying to do by now. We're going to take this little Coleman CT100U 3 horsepower mini bike, strap it down on this Dyno Jet 224X. We're going to run the guts out of this thing in bone stock form and see what kind of fire it makes. Now, we haven't done any kind of modifications to this yet. This is just as it comes out of the box. Everything is still factory, the governor's still on it. Haven't even taken the air filter out, haven't made any adjustments at all. We put gas and oil in it, and we're going to run the heck out of it. Now, we are planning on doing some future upgrades. We don't know exactly what yet. Still trying to figure that out, but there's definitely something coming. I got a bunch of old go-kart parts I've had from years back. Got this old loop pipe, may try to do something with that. Got some old methanol carburetors, may try to make something like that work. Who knows? We may try to make this old Holly Dominator carburetor, see what it'll do on there. We're gonna get wild with it. Now, we ended up making 2 runs. We only showed one, but the red graph is not hitting the governor. We made 2.18 horsepower and 7.27 foot-pounds of torque. The blue graph is our second run, which you saw on video. It's 2.85 horsepower and 7.8 foot-pounds of torque. Now, we just base these off of speed because when you put it on the RPM graph, it's so choppy, it's hard to even read anything. So without the governor, it ran about 22 miles an hour, which is what we recorded in the truck. And without the governor, we're right at 26. You can see the dip in between the graphs. That's where the governor kicks in. And when it takes back off again, that's where I re-engage the governor and it continues to pull. Do what you want with the information. We're just wanting to show everybody what it made. What's up, everybody? Big James here, and I got my buddy Jessie Hodge. He's a mini bike expert, so I brought him over for this little dyno adventure today. We're going to talk a little bit about mini bikes, how he got started, kind of some things, you know, basic stuff you need to do to make it right. And I'll just let you start off, Jesse. Just give us a little short rundown on mini bikes and how you kind of got into it.
Got started a couple of years ago. Started off as a joke. I picked up a frame out of Indiana. It was a Paul Lear built.
It was a stretched one, wasn't it?
Stretched.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
It was a 12 over stretch, real long, had a bicycle front tire on the front. We played with it and as a joke, and we put we took the Paul Lear clone motor off and put an open motor on it, and we actually hit 79 miles an hour on it.
That's rolling, man. That's a lot better than my 22.
With me, I'm 275 pounds, so
so.
With me rolling on that thing in the 8th mile at 79 miles an hour, the only thing that stinks, I can't find the time slip. Everybody's always wanting a time slip, but with that bicycle front tire, you know, it had the old dyno mag on the front. You know, which was really cool. It looked really good.
That's always the ones I wanted back when I was a kid, was the mag wheels.
And I ended up ran it a couple times, and then I was going to build something different. So I ended up getting a different frame, and I built probably a dozen or more different style mini bikes, from flat track mini bikes to trail mini bikes to...
Yeah, you had a little trail track out behind your track.
I still do.
House.
Yeah, I still do. I'm going to try to get a group together and ride on it.
Yeah.
It's about a mile long.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I went through and put tires in the bottoms, and it's got like some cool little sweeper corners. It's got a thicket area that you go through, and then it's got like a hillside through the woods.
Yeah.
And it's real narrow. I've went through and put signs through it. Been a lot of fun making it, me and the kids. You know, we get out there and play on it sometimes.
Oh, that's what it's about, having fun.
But hadn't really got a whole big group out there yet. But hopefully, I'm hoping sometime we can throw something together and get a group of a dozen guys or something out there and have like a little small engine race. Or
once I get this one all fixed up, I'll come gap everybody.
So, I actually have that first frame that I got. I actually acquired it back this week.
Okay.
So it's actually making its way back to my house.
All good things returning home.
I had traded it to a friend of mine, or actually my little cousin, and he has now traded it back to me for some other stuff. And I got rid of my drag bike this last weekend. I'm trying to throw something together this weekend for Beacon. For the 660.
We're going to go out there. We'll have some footage of that too. So.
Yeah. And the small engine stuff's taking off, man. It really is, and it's a great way for kids to learn.
Well, it's economical, so anybody can jump in.
You can go buy a Coleman Mini Bike, throw a couple $100 worth of ads to it, and be rolling by the weekend.
No doubt.
And have a blast.
For sure.
You know, we went to Bowling Green for an event where they had monster trucks and they had hooligan mini bike races, and there was about 8 or 10 of us that went up there, and the smiles that we had on our faces, you know, cutting track, pushing each other over, killing each other's kill switches, and just putting on a good show. It was just a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
So, but it's just affordability. You know, I've always been into cars and hot rods.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things, I've never been so excited to get on something just to line up with a buddy just for bragging rights.
That's right.
Just to see whose mini bike's faster or whose small engine. You know, if it's got a small engine on it, roll with it. Just have fun. You know, that's what it's all about.
Just get started. Just jump in. You know,
and anybody. I mean, you can get on YouTube. You can get on any kind of forum, and you can literally get step by step of how to make one fast.
The information out there today just is crazy. You know, if you can think of it, you can probably look it up. Somebody's did it 10 times. You know.
And if you break something, you can go get a brand new motor for $120.
Yeah, for sure.
Build a new one. So it's not like blowing up a race car or anything like that. You know, it's affordable. But man, it's so much fun just to get, you know, it's the, you know, fellowship, getting together with your buddies,
for sure, and
having a good time. That's like, you know, like this.
Yeah. Oh, here we are. You know what I mean? I hadn't seen him in a hot minute. I got a little mini bike, and here we are hanging out. You know. Speaking of affordability, well, just say you got a mini bike, you're getting started. What's the first have-tos to get? You know, just to get a little pep going in it.
Exhaust, air filter, jet kit. You know,
basics.
Simple things. Changing the spark plug out, putting a hotter firing spark plug.
Yeah.
I like to run an NGK, like an NGK-R plug. You can get them at your local parts store.
Yeah.
They're very affordable. Putting an exhaust pipe on it, it makes it loud, but it also increases the breathability of the engine. Yeah. So air filter, exhaust, gearing. If you can change anything with the gearing.
We stuck on that, but
stuck on that with this one, but. You know, there's ways around, ways you can change stuff to make it's all the fun of the science of it. Yeah. Trying to figure out what works and what you can do to increase speed, increase torque.
For sure.
And it's all, if you can figure it out, there you go.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about this weekend. What we got going on in Beacon as far as the mini bike, small engine stuff?
This weekend at Beacon, we have the Beyond 660.
And for those that don't know, that Beyond 660 is a back end of the track, no prep event. We start at the 660 line, you do your burnout, you pull forward, and it's just bare asphalt, no prep or anything, just for people that don't know.
And, you know, basically, if it's got a small engine on it, you got a kid that's got a four-wheeler, you got a go-kart, yard cart at the house. If it's clean, it don't leak oil, bring it out.
Heck
We'll
yeah.
play. Line up with whoever you want. If we get enough interest, we may do a little cash days for mini bikes, for small engines or whatever.
That'd be cool.
Or we may do a stock class.
Yeah.
You know, whatever we've got the most, you know, interest in or whatever. We do have a couple. I know a friend of mine, he's got a turbo mini bike that he's, you know, he had out the track, you know, a couple weeks ago. He's still working on the bugs on it.
I'll have to check that out.
You know,
sure.
mine was nitrous.
Yeah.
You know, my drag mini bike, I sold it last weekend, but it may be there too. I don't know if he's coming or not. He's from down in Clarksville.
I got you. That's not that far.
But there's a lot of guys from the Clarksville area that's getting into it. It's blowing up big time.
Well, I sent you that picture of that one last time I went to Clarksville, that red, white, and blue one. He had a nitrous kit on it, and it would go out, you know, 60 foot, and he'd hit it, and the front wheel would come up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, gosh, dang, boy, you know.
But, you know, it's amazing the stuff that you can do to get it where it'll come to life.
Yeah.
Without having to break the bank and without, and, you know.
Just getting it fine-tuned. And
I can tell you right now, the first time you ride on it and you're going and it actually does really good and you get that speed you want, you're going to be ear to ear smiling and just laughing.
Yeah. Well, that's like we was having a blast the other day. I bet I wasn't going 15 miles an hour out there, but it was just fun, you know, get out there and ride, feel the wind in your face, and just having a good time with your buddies, you know.
Well,
can't beat that.
I can tell you one thing is, you know, they did it on Dumb and Dumber all the way to Aspen, and I would have rocked it too. I've been smiling ear to ear.
They were frozen together when they got off that bike.
Hey, I did. This is a blast. So, but no, man, it's a great time for everybody. This weekend, it's $10 for spectators at Beacon, $20 run all night. They do have some big dog races. They've got junior cash days.
Oh yeah.
Horsepower cafes open with the chicken strips.
And the new foot-long corn dogs. Can't beat that.
So bring your friends out, you know, good time. You'll see us. There'll be a bunch of mini bike guys there, a bunch of small engine guys. Even if it's stock ones,
bring them on out.
Bring them out. Have a good time.
For sure.
Enjoy yourself. Come out, introduce yourself.
I'll guarantee you it can't be much slower than this little 3-horse back here. So you at least can come gap me. Have that much fun anyway.
And smile while you're doing it.
Oh, no doubt. But we appreciate you, man. And you got anything else you want to talk on before we get off here?
That's it, my friend.
I appreciate it, brother.
Hey.
Thanks for coming over and helping me out. And
No problem.
we got a few little speed secrets we can't talk about yet. So got more to come on this little dyno. We'll see y'all next time.